This module covers weekly contact. Washington state law requires all online students to maintain weekly contact with a certificated teacher while enrolled in an online school. At Insight, the preference is for students to achieve this weekly contact by attending their weekly homeroom Class Connect session. In the event that students miss a live session, homeroom teachers can achieve weekly contact using another contact method during that week. Weekly contact is defined as direct communication that includes a two-way exchange of academic information between a certificated teacher and the student, that is, for the purposes of instruction, related to reviewing of assignments, related to student testing or test performance, for the evaluation of student progress, or needed to meet other learning activities or requirements identified in the written student learning plan. What does not qualify as weekly contact? Conversations with parents or learning coaches without the student present. Exchanges of information between the teacher and the student that do not meet the thresholds described on the previous slide. For example, if an email exchange, the student says boop, the teacher says boop back, this does not meet the thresholds of academic nature. This is an actual example of something that we saw, so. All right, and then also mass emails cannot be tagged as weekly contact. Weekly contact has to be one-to-one direct communication between a teacher and the student. The school does have methods of automatically reporting weekly contact without the teacher needing to log any notes for that week. If a student logs into a live Class Connect session in a given week, they are automatically counted as having made weekly contact with the school. So no additional notes or weekly contact notes are needed. If you complete other homeroom compliance notes, such as monthly progress conference or a connection call in a given week, that meets the threshold of a weekly contact. So you do not need to log an additional weekly contact note that week. If a student receives assignment feedback within their course from a teacher, that automatically counts as a weekly contact and no additional note is needed for that week. If a student, for instance, is missing an action for a week and you know they have not attended any live Class Connects or completed any assignments, it is appropriate to reach out to that student to make that weekly contact to try to re-engage that student in school. Once you have that conversation of an academic nature, it could either be by phone, email, or text. You can log that conversation as a weekly contact note. And so you would go to Total View School and select New Note for the student. And to log that weekly contact, you start with the tag. You will enter a W and you should see weekly contact populate. And then you'll select tag. When you select tag, you'll see the date populate here and you will see that it's been tagged weekly contact. You do not need a template for a weekly contact. And most subject lines will look, you'll want to enter weekly contact. And then in the body of the note, you need to describe what you talked about with the student. And we have Scooby do our example student here. And so I wrote, I spoke with Scooby about his current math grade and overdue assignment. Scooby said he is working on it today and will attend Class Connect. That meets the threshold of academic nature. And it was with the student. And so I can save this now, but just double check. Weekly contact is tagged. Subject is weekly contact. And you have the academic nature of the conversation documented. Then you hit save. That concludes a weekly contact.